You on my mirror, start to blush when somebody says your name. In my stomach there's a pain. You walk in my direction.
Y'all, she's out. You're so fast. You're welcome. Yeah, if you want to take a break. Whenever you want to take a break, you can sit. Okay. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another video. It's your girl Kaylynne back with another video. As you can see, I'm outside today. We're outside. We're at the park. And Cam is doing her thing on her scooter. Sissy is just strolling along in her stroller. And mom and dad are getting our steps in. I'm trying to get some more steps in because when I'm not at work, I don't move as much, y'all. And it's pretty bad. So we're actually doing a challenge together where we're trying to do 150,000 steps in 30 days, which is 5,000 a day if you're doing it for 30 days. And we're pretty much almost at that goal. I think you're like 15,000 steps away.
I don't know how accurate mine is.
I don't know, because you're blowing me out, and I don't understand how you're blowing me out. I mean, I know I sit down sometimes, but I sit down a lot throughout the day, but I don't know. You're like 30,000. You'll have to see
like
what it's tracking. Because mine is just doing my Apple.
Because it's picking up from both, but...
Well, that's why. You're probably cheating.
I don't know if it's double counting.
Maybe it is. Well, anyway, his says like he's like at 130 something, and that's crazy because I'm only at like 100,000. But I don't know. So, the mashup by Laura Marie Myers. This is the next book up. I'm very excited for this one. I needed to switch and do like a fun book. I was telling you guys when I ended the last video that I'm enough with these sad videos. Enough. So I am heading on to hopefully a funny, light read. So that is what I'm gonna start. That is what I'm gonna start in this video. So I'm going to read as we're walking, kind of. I do have the audiobook as well, so I might turn that on. That'll probably be easier while we're walking, but just wanted to open up and say hello. All right, y'all, we are back home. Girls just took their shower and bath. We did our little bedtime, and now time has come to clean up their mess from the day. And today's pretty bad. Today's pretty bad. They got every toy chest out and dumped it out. Like, yeah. Okay. Why my chair's randomly in the middle of the room, I don't know. So we're about to clean this up. I did manage to read a little bit. I'm on chapter 3 of the mashup. I'm on chapter 3. I'm liking it so far. I think that it's gonna be way more than just a romance. It's literally, I feel like this one's gonna be very much coming of age and just figuring out, like, does life look like for her when she's not playing it safe? Like, that's kind of the preface of what I am getting. Like, is she going to go after her dreams now? Like, are things going to be different for her? So I'm interested to see her growth as she continues on in this journey. And I'm at the part now where she's making the wish. The MASH game, just bringing that up, just brought so many memories up. We met all the characters. We met her brother, her twin brother Ryan. We met her friend Bridget. Connor is her boyfriend right now. And Penn is the brother's best friend. So we get a little bit of interaction between them that is like good banter, feisty. You know, they don't care for each other too much. It's like that argumentative, like playful argumentative type of conversation. So that's been good. But so far, I have good things to say. I have good vibes going into this book. And I'm very excited. So I have to clean up in order to be able to get back to the book. So the kitchen, there's carrots and stuff everywhere on the floor because my youngest is at that point where when she's done, she throws it instead of just saying that she's done or doesn't want it anymore. So give that to clean up. And this playroom. Sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, I'll leave it like this and I'll do it in the morning. But tonight, they did way too much in here. So Let me clean this up.
Put your hands in the air, it's all right now. We gon' keep you up on your feet the whole night now. Pop them bottles, yeah, drink that up, man. Got you feeling crazy, well, that was the plan. They was waiting for me, wasn't ready for this. He got the game sold up, no one talking about Swiss. So yeah, I know you wanna fight it, but why would you try? We got them shaking everything from the hood to Dubai. Yeah, we do a big man, why would we lie? Come on. 1, 2, 3, everybody. Pick up, get your hands in the air. It's a stick up. Shake your tambourines, move it quicker. Yeah, I'm shaking down the town. Get the picture. How I'm moving on the floor, gotta love that. How she keep it going on, gotta love that. To the beat like a pro, know you love that. She can shake it to the flow.
All right, y'all. Hello. It is Friday, the 7th. I don't know. I think the last time I talked to you guys was Monday. It's been a long week. I had work today and was just about over it. So last night I actually was reading the mashup, but I ended up falling asleep while I was reading. So I don't really know what the heck I read. So I'm going to go back to where I last was and try this again so that I can end this book, because I definitely finished it last night and then woke up and was like, what the heck just happened? So I have about, I think 50 pages or so left in this one. So let's talk about it. The last time you saw me was Monday, where I was opening it up to start reading it. And once I started reading it, I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. A little bit in it. So we have the main character. Why do I always forget people's names? Like, this is the only book you're reading right now. What's up? What is her name? Ruby. Whoa. Like, why did that... I just completely blanked on her name. But Ruby is the main character, and she basically gets put into the world of the MASH game that she made when she was 13. So we're seeing this like 13 going on 30 Freaky Friday type situation and vibes going on, which I really, really enjoyed. I think I was in like a couple of chapters, like chapter 2 or 3, and I was like, whoa, this is giving 13 going on 30 vibes. And I love that for me. And I just kept updating on my Goodreads, like, this is so nostalgic, this is so nostalgic. All like the references that they're doing, they're talking about like Lisa Frank notebooks and like the color, like everything's so colorful. Like, kids were so obsessed with color. Like, I needed everything rainbow. Like, I just loved every single color. I liked everything bright and just in your face. Like, that is the kind of girl I was on. I had all the Lisa Frank folders, the notebooks. Like, that was my childhood. Those were the things that I loved. So them referencing that in this book has been really, really just taking me back. And I'm like, ugh. And then made me think, like, as you get older, you start to be like, oh no, I like this clean aesthetic. And like, I think about like house decor and like the gray walls and everything being neutral, and like, you don't want things to clash. And I've just gotten to the point a couple months ago where I'm just like, why don't I wear, like, even what you wear, like, why don't I wear a lot of color? Why don't I play with color? Why am I so stuck in this, like, oh, I like neutrals and neutrals look best? No, I want some color. I want some life. I want some fun in my life. And I feel like that's kind of what this book is giving. Like, she has been living this ordinary, safe kind of life, and now she's going to be transported into this reality that she had, you know, just jokingly did in this game, but is going to be living it out and see how much different it is from her current life. So the things that she's like realizing about herself and how she's been living life has been really nice. At first, I was like a little bit annoyed in the beginning because she just turned 35. So all of this happens the night, you know, of her 35th birthday. And it's just like some of the things that she said, or like how she said things in the beginning of the book, especially when it comes to talking about the brother's best friend, it was just giving a little bit immature to me. And I'm like, hold on, I had to pause the book, like, isn't she 35? Like, why is she talking like this? So after looking some things up, I don't know if that is like the point, but when she gets when she gets put into the MASH game reality, I think it kind of like brings her back to like, you're living in like a 13-year-old's world. Like, none of it is realistic. And I guess it's supposed to take that like playful spin, like, oh, she's never lived this way before, or this is like her 13-year-old mind like living it out. But the way that she was responding to certain things, I was just like, well, this is giving immature, because I get that she was transported into this new reality, but she's still 35, so why is she acting like this? Why is she saying things like this? But after a while, I got past it. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was just something that made me be like, ain't she 35? Like, sis is older than me, and she acting like this, she's saying stuff like this, come on. So that was my only like thing, but I was like, girl, stop being so hard on these books. I feel like I have just been discovering, like I've been telling you guys, my reading taste, and I'm just so particular now. Like, I need the flow to be good. I need things to make sense. So I don't know. Anyway, after that, I ignored it and it got better, totally better. So it's been interesting to see her and the brother's best friend, their dynamics, how they were previously, how they are in this reality world. I don't know that I'm like fully invested in them. I'm trying to still see how I feel about it. So we'll see. I don't know, because I haven't gotten to the point. Like, I just got back into, I can't tell you. I just got back. As I'm nearing the end, things are changing a little bit, and I'm just interested to see how she navigates everything since being in this new alternate reality for her, like this different thing. Her best friend, I don't know how to say it without spoiling it, and I'm not trying to give y'all spoilers, so I'm just interested to see how she'll continue to act and what their relationship or situationship, what happens between them, because I don't know that I'm fully invested like in the love story that's depicted, or am I rooting for it? Do I want it to happen? Do I not want it to happen? Is it even gonna happen? Like, these are all the things that are just going through my mind right now. So her best friend Bridget, I absolutely love. Bridget, just the name Bridget brought up some trauma. If you know, you know. I'm not gonna say anything, but if you know, you know. If you read any book with another character named Bridget, you know what I'm talking about. So seeing Bridget, it brought me back a little bit. But Bridget, her best friend, I really, really like their relationship. I feel like that's the relationship you see the most. And her brother Ryan, you kind of see their relationship like a little bit too. But her and Bridget are kind of like the main relationship carrying this book and the story and everything, which I really do like. So there's a lot of things I like, but I do like that it's nostalgic. It's very easy to read. I do have the audiobook as well, and that's been great. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this book and then give you my thoughts, and then we will get into the next book. So I think I'm gonna read Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It next, because I just feel like that would be a good pairing to kind of like not compare and contrast the books, but they're both kind of these women coming of age in a way, like books, and they're both, this one's 35, Phoebe I know is 30, or she is about to turn 30. So I just thought that would be a nice pairing to try to do for a video. So I'm going to finish this and then hopefully be able to start that, because I definitely want to finish Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It by Sunday night. Sunday, we'll see. And also because I just want to read. I'm cramping. I'm sitting here with my heating pad on. I had a long day at work. I just want to relax. So the girls just got into their bed. It's 8:34 and it's time to finish this book. Hello, you guys. So I don't even remember the last time I talked to y'all. I think it was before I finished the mashup. So I did end up finishing the mashup. I had to sit with my thoughts a little bit because I just needed to see how I really felt. I just really needed to see how I felt. So I ended up rating it, let me go because I don't even remember. I've been reading a little bit too much. So I ended up rating it 3.25 stars. I thought it was really good. The best thing about this book was the nostalgia of it. Like, I was very much a Lisa Frank girl. I was, you know, it just brought me back. I was a girl who was playing MASH over and over and over again. So those kind of things made this book good for me. But this is what I wrote on Goodreads. It's pretty hefty. So the whole concept of the book was super fun and nostalgic. Loved all the 90s references. I was definitely a Lisa Frank girly. So that's why I feel like the 90s references were so on point. And I love when books, like, the references are like ones that I actually get and I have, you know, life experience with. So that was a plus because I just felt like, yes, I remember those times. So we get taken on a wild journey transporting into a MASH game Ruby did when she was in 7th grade, and get to see her discover a colorful and playful alternate reality with a life where she took risks. Her current life, she definitely played things safe and was pretty stable, but this new reality challenged that while also pairing her with her brother's best friend, Penn, which they're supposed to be like enemies to lovers. I love that this was a closed door romance and only had one fade to black romance scene in it. Y'all, I didn't even know. But I was like, when I got to that scene, I said, thank you, Jesus. They closed the door. But it was hard to buy into the main characters being enemies to lovers. Throughout the book, like, it was said that they were. But I was like, why? Like, why are you? So it's kind of hard to do that trope when you can't fully buy into the tension and stuff. So I said, for this trope, I feel like the reader should be able to feel and understand the tension between the characters for it to work well. I definitely think I needed more of their history too, since this was also kind of a second chance romance. I don't know, I swear all romances just need to be dual POV. I feel like especially when it's second chance, because obviously things have happened and that's why they're not together, or things like something whatever it may be. We need to know what was it from both sides. So that's was one thing I felt like was missing. Overall, the romance was cute, but at times in the beginning I kept thinking, is she really 35? Because sis didn't act like it in many points of the book. Now, my favorite relationship in the book was Ruby and her best friend Bridget. This stood out to me the most in both of the realities. I love how this was a big part of the book and how we got to witness such a good friendship / sisterhood between these two. It was a quick, cute read, but I definitely think I would have liked it better if it was executed a bit different, because I feel like there were some gaps and parts that felt a little rushed. I did like Ruby's reflections and takeaways about herself that she learned from the MASH game reality, and overall I loved the idea and did have fun reading it. So it was definitely a fun idea, a fun concept to write a book about. The best relationship in the book to me was the friendship between her and Bridget. That's kind of what kept me going all along the way. So kudos to that, which is like, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it is like a second chance enemies to lovers, I kind of feel like that should be the relationship that the reader should be liking the most. But I definitely bought into the friendship and really connected in that kind of way in this book. So I think that was pretty much it was good. I would recommend like you reading it, but I feel like it could have been executed just a little bit different. So then today is August 8th and I started Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It this morning, and I am pretty much almost done. So I did my daughter's hair today, and I do have the audiobook for this as well, so I pretty much got through it. I thought it would be interesting to do this reading vlog with books about women coming of age, like in their 30ish range. But what I can say about these two books so far is, in the mashup, Ruby is 35, but was not acting like a 35-year-old woman in my opinion. And then in this book, she's 29, about to be 30, and I just feel like both of the main characters are very juvenile. Like some parts of the book is just giving childish, and it's been a little bit of a struggle. So when I started this book, that's kind of how I felt, but now as it's been going on and I'm kind of working my way towards the end, I feel a little bit better about her, and I'm just accepting the story for what it is. And you know, she has anxiety, and it's like intimacy anxiety, but she's working her way through a lot of things throughout the book. But can I say it's my favorite it's definitely not what I thought it was gonna be. Like, the way that the book summary is, it's like, oh, she's trying to lose her virginity in 30 days. Like, you think it's gonna be going one way. It's definitely not. So I would say, like, I'm glad that I picked it up and gave it a chance. But in the beginning, sis was also just given a little bit immature. I'm like, what are we doing with these ladies? We're in our 30s. What are we doing? So that's all I can say. But the friendships in this book I have also liked. I've liked the conversations between the friend group. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much to spoil it, because there's kind of multiple love interests in a way. And I'm slowly getting to where we're figuring out, like, what's going on. Like, where are we getting at? But I definitely can't put it down. The pace of it has been really good. I like how it's written, like the writing style. It's very easy to follow along. There's a lot of parts in this book where I actually was laughing. So lots of funny parts. It's just been good. Like, it's been different. Like she said when she wrote this book in the prologue, like, you never read romances that aren't like so beautiful and like movie like, and no one's scared or anxious to have these moments. Like, you don't see or read anything like that. So this is the first time I've ever read anything where the main character is really having a hard time and dealing with anxiety when it comes to intimacy and, you know, being nervous around guys and all that kind of stuff, and actually like working her way through it. And like, sis she's struggling. Like, she is going through this eternal struggle and battle, but everyone around her has done a great job of like picking her up. Even she's a therapist in the book, and I just hope that at the end she realizes more, because there was one part of the book where someone was like, I wish you could see yourself the way that other people see you. So she's like very hard on herself, which I guess you could say both characters, like in the mashup, she kind of was too. So yeah, I'm interested. I like this pairing that I did, and I have another book that I want to read tomorrow, but I don't know if we're gonna get to it, but I want to. So I think I'm going to, and then this reading vlog will be 3 books, but we'll see. I'm going to finish reading this one hopefully tonight. I only have a little bit left. I think 100 pages left. So we'll see. If not, I'll finish it tomorrow. But I just wanted to pop in and let you guys know that I did finish the mashup, and now I am reading Phoebe Berman's Going to Lose It. All right, y'all, let's wrap this video up. I finished Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It last night, and I rated it 2 stars. But I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think if I should do. No, I think I'm gonna rest on that. I'm so sorry. I'm really not. I feel like the past couple of books, like, I feel like I've been so like critical, but it's just like what I like and what worked and what didn't work for me. And this book, like, I feel like I would have been fine if I didn't read it. Like, I don't want to be rude, but I feel like I would have been fine if I didn't read it. And that is like 2 stars for me, because I thought that this was things that I did like. This was a very fast-paced book. I did feel like the writing like flew, like you wanted to know what was going to happen, how everything was going to play out, like the countdown of the 30 days. That was really good, but I just felt like the characters were so immature, and I thought that she was, and that was like my first thoughts, like I mentioned, I thought that she was immature to be almost turning 30, and then now that I sit and I think about like her friend group and everything, they were a little immature too, and I was like, this is giving more like back in college, like maybe freshman year, sophomore year vibes, but to be 30, and like all the friends, like no one was really giving like mature responses to her, and like some of the things that she was saying, it just was like everyone was kind of the same, and there was maybe no growth and maturity that I needed in the story. Like, I don't know, like even the end, like I appreciate that she realized some things, but it just, I don't know if it felt rushed or what, but I feel like we went from this to this. Then we had a plot that came out of nowhere. She could have took it to another trope that I thought she was taking it to. And I was actually getting really excited for that. And then it totally went the other way. So I felt like the ending was kind of like, well, this is what we have. This is what's left. And it just didn't feel that genuine. Like, I don't know. Something about it just didn't. It just... And I can't say too much without spoiling it. I could have did without it, is what I will say. But I did appreciate that it was a quick, fast read. Some parts were really funny. I was cracking up. I'm not gonna lie. I was cracking up on some parts. Like, the humor during some parts was funny. But I just felt like maybe they shouldn't have been 30. Maybe I'm like stuck on that. Because it was giving... It was very juvenile. It was giving... they were much younger than they were, because I was trying to imagine like my peers, and nobody's acting like that. Like 30-year-olds, I don't think are acting like that. So I don't know, that was my biggest thing. It was different and it was interesting. I like the preface of the book, and I like that it wasn't like, it was, by all means, it's not like a raunchy read or anything like that. So if that's what you're thinking, because at first that's what I thought, and I was like, I don't know if I should be reading this book, but it was not. It was a clean read. I'm trying to go to my Goodreads. Yeah, so 2 stars. Oh, that's so sad. I have to find a book, y'all, that's gonna be good for me. So I said easy, quick read, which was nice. I read it in a day, and it definitely wasn't anything I expected. Very interesting take on a romance, which is what made me want to read it, which I did appreciate, like the anxiety parts about it and like being able to be in her head. But some things I was like, girl, we have to, and maybe it's like the nurse in me too. I'm like, girl, we have to get it together. Like, we have to do something, because there's no way everyone in your life is just letting you sit and spiral like this over like little things. And like the focus of her focus just being on losing her virginity was driving me insane. She had a wonderful job. Like, talk more about that. Do more about that. Like, just more depth, I guess. I said, I enjoyed the beginning and learning about Phoebe, but I just felt she was immature for almost being 30. Maybe if she was younger and this was a YA book, I don't know. I couldn't connect with all the characters, but I was along for the ride to see where it ended. The humor was definitely my favorite part of the book, but this one may not have been for me. 2 stars. So it definitely made me appreciate this one a lot more. At least I like this one a lot more. And the romance in it, like, I feel the romance in this one was a lot better, even though it lacked a little bit too. Like, I wish it would have been dual POV, but it made me have much higher feelings about this one. But I don't know what it was. She was almost 30, she was 35, and they both was acting a little immature. I don't know, y'all, but I had to give y'all my last little ratings. I think I will stop just picking up books because, well, this one I picked up because I saw it everywhere and people were raving about it, and that's what I mean. Let me stop doing that, because y'all can already tell by my book taste that maybe the very hyped up books may not be for me. It's really hit or miss. But this one was my book of the month pick. So I picked this one, and you could tell maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit better, because of the theme and the nostalgia of it really made it work for me. So I was going to read a whole nother book today and add it to this video, because it was another romance kind of with a female main character who was like almost like, I think mid-20s. But y'all, I gotta give the romance a break. So the next video will not be a romance. We're gonna find something else to read to kind of switch it up a little bit, and then we'll get back to the romance later. We are zooming our way through our summer TBR. I was looking at my list and I was like, oh, read that. Like, so we're getting there. And I have a nice little plan for the next couple of videos to get through the rest of it. So the next video will be, well, the next reading vlog will be, we'll see what that'll be. But it won't be a romance, I'll tell you that, because I need a break or I'm gonna be going crazy because I just cannot. I need a 4-star and up, please, for the next book. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.